Good morning, folks. This is Uche Njoku, sneaker principal. It is about 4:30 in the morning, and it's time for another podcast. So, for those of you who are wondering, like, what's going on here? You're posting quite a bit. I don't want to jinx myself right now because I made a commitment to a friend of mine that I would get back to doing, or better yet, creating this podcast, which I haven't really been consistent with for some time now due to many personal issues and circumstances. But however, I am in a new season, and this season actually has permitted me more time to tap into my creative endeavors. And a big part of that is this podcast that I created in 2020. I remember sitting on my mother's couch. My mother's couch? What am I thinking? My brain just took me back to my early years when I was out of college and trying to figure my life out. I had moved back home and my mother had downsized, so I was on her couch. No, this podcast was not created on my mother's couch. It was created on my couch in Mount Vernon during the pandemic. Those of you who've heard my story, I was, like many other people, going through cabin fever. We were locked in, terrified, not knowing what was happening around the world, people getting sick. And I kind of went all into podcasts, listen to podcasts, wanted to create a podcast. And I realized all I needed was a mic and a camera and access to YouTube. So I created a podcast. And for some time I was interviewing people, posting, and there was a small following, and then life lifed. And I find myself fighting to find space and time to create. And over the years, there's been spurts here and there. So now I've committed myself to creating a podcast in a more consistent basis. And thus far, I'm creating every day. And what I'm doing is turning the camera on. I start to speak. I end up having audio and video. So I end up having a video podcast and an audio podcast, and I post them both onto the appropriate platforms. So you can see the video podcast on YouTube, and I share it on LinkedIn, and I'm going to start sharing it on Facebook because I have a sizable following on Facebook, way more so than I do on YouTube. But YouTube is really my library, so everything that I create goes on YouTube. But to share it out to the world is going to be on Facebook and LinkedIn. So I'm doing that. And for those of you who are listening, I'm wondering, what is he doing? What's that sound in the background? I'm making my morning coffee. So you're going to hear all the sounds having to do with making coffee. So the glass canisters, the water pouring. I'm sure this is pretty cool for those of you who are listening. So that's hot water pouring into a beaker, a coffee beaker, which I'm now pouring into the coffee press. I've been asked, why don't you just have a coffee maker? And that's much easier. But there's something about the ritual of actually brewing your own coffee that is amazing. So I have my coffee, which is the Four Sigmatic Think Organic Coffee with lion's mane and chaga mushrooms. So it gets me off right for the day. So that's brewing right there. That it sits for 4 minutes, and I pour into a cup with a little half and half, and I get my first caffeine fix of the day before I head to the gym. So I'm making this podcast. I just wanted to let those of you who are listening and who are wondering, like, what's going on here? You're creating more content, more than usual. And how long is it going to last? It's going to last, hopefully, for the next 6 months. That's what I'm committing to. My thing is this: if I've been able to commit myself to working out, get back into the gym, it's been well over 6 months that I've gone hard. And what I mean by going hard, that I've actually taken myself to the point where the thought of not putting the work in physically for my health is not even an option. It's like yesterday, I overslept a little bit. I didn't oversleep. One thing is, I don't oversleep. What happens is I need more sleep. And my body tells me I need more sleep, so I give myself more sleep. So yesterday, I needed more sleep, so I gave myself more sleep. And then I didn't go to the gym. But I got to work, had my coffee, walked into my office, and the first thing that I did when I walked into my office is I threw my face to the ground, and I did 100 push-ups. And I've realized that someone might say 100 push-ups, that's not a lot. That's not really a workout. Try it. Try doing 100 push-ups in a row and tell me it's not a workout. So that's what I did. I did 100 push-ups, and then I proceeded with my day. My philosophy is no days off. No matter how small, I have to do something. But I do something that's hard. It's going to get me breathing. It's going to get me get my heart rate up. It's going to get my blood flowing and going to put me in a position of struggle, because that's how you keep your body in prime positioning, because you keep your body strong and healthy because you want it to be ready in case if something happens that's going to require that your survival instincts kick in. Not working out for the purpose of looking good. The byproduct of working out, the byproduct of getting in shape is your body is leaner, is fitter, you're more muscular. And that's just a byproduct. But being in shape and being lean, your clothes fitting you cosmetically is great. But how does the cosmetics pour into your survival instincts? And that's the thing. I'm in shape because I want to survive. What I mean by survive, I want to survive with good health. I want to survive in situations where I might be facing some level of attack. I want to survive. And that's something that we don't think about. We just think about, I'm trying to get my body on. I'm trying to get that six pack. I'm trying to look good for the beach. I'm trying to go to Miami. Okay, all that stuff is cool. It's cool. But what if those things were not there? What if these things, were not an option? Like, think about it. What is the ultimate purpose for putting the work in if it's not to be in optimal health for survival? That's all I got to say with that. So this podcast right now is kind of going all over the place, which is okay with me. And if you don't like it, you can go ahead and turn it off and let yourself go find something else better to do, I guess. But I am creating this podcast for myself. It's a commitment I've made right now to just get back on the horse. Okay. Into this topic, in this next few minutes, I want to talk about this profession of ours. Those of you who are listening, who are educators, who might be following me because I'm an educator, and you're like, it's taking them forever to get to the point. The point is, this morning I woke up and I saw an email I have not seen in a very, very long time. And this email is about the New York City Teaching Fellows, which is an alternative pathway program to teaching. And I haven't seen an email sent to us, principals, administrators, educators, in a while. To the point that I had actually believed that the program was defunded. And I'm going to tell you something about this program. It's a very important program, at least to me, because that's how I became a teacher. I was a New York City Teaching Fellow in 2005. We're in 2024. So this application season was exactly 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, when I found out about this program and I applied. So this cohort that would be applying for either early admissions in January or for regular admissions, I believe in March, this cohort will be the cohort that literally comes in 20 years after I did, which is important to me. Education, this profession has changed my life in many ways, good and bad. Yes, good and bad. Good in the sense that it gave me a profession. It gave me my life's work. It gave me the thing that has been the cornerstone of my existence for the past 20 years. Even though I walked away from teaching twice, walked away from education twice, I still came back because this profession, this work, ultimately, I became really good at it. And to the point others noticed it about me. And I've not applied for a job in New York City schools since that first application to be a New York City Teaching Fellow. And that's a testament to that opportunity giving me a chance to enter into a profession that ultimately led to me finding my calling. So I'm grateful to the New York City Teaching Fellows. And I, at least for me personally, I believe that it's a great way to find talent in this profession. But now, this is a tough moment that we're in right now, as far as education is concerned. There's a teacher shortage, and there's a shortage of really good, educators. Every year, for the past couple of years, I've struggled to find strong people. It's gotten to the point where I treat hiring teachers like the NFL free agency. There's a thing called open market, and when it's open, which means any teacher can apply for any position at any school, and they can switch schools unhindered, I go for talents, and it's tough. I've had to convince people to leave their schools to come to my school, and I've always felt bad about it because, good teachers, every child deserves a good teacher, but also I am in a position where I have to staff my school. And if I'm able to convince a teacher that the work that is available at my school is going to push them or give them opportunities that they don't have at their current school, then I will sell that. But not only will I sell that, I will provide that as well. Because I want teachers who want to do the work, but also want to grow. But it becomes a little bit cutthroat, and I've seen principals, administrators who are friends pretty much have friendships dissolved because there's a teaching shortage and people don't want to lose the good that they have, the good staff members that they have to other schools. But what is the solution here? What is the solution? How do we get away from this space, this practice of cannibalizing each other's staff, to make sure that our staffs are fully equipped so that our students in our schools have all the teachers that they need for their education. This coffee is great. But the way we have to do that now is kind of like create a space and of really looking for talent. The economy is a struggle, which I hate to say, because there's a lot of people who out of work or under salaried, underpaid. And there's a lot of people out there who have college degrees who had dreams of doing certain things and it didn't pan out. And here's an opportunity. There's one thing that will always be there is the need to educate our children. And I'll tell you this, I came into education because it was supposed to be my backup plan, my rainy day skill set. My uncle, who's long passed away, Uncle Stanley, God rest your soul, you're an amazing man, had told me not long before he passed away that every man needs at least that one thing that they can do that regardless of what's happening around them, they can get a job or get paid for that skill. And like in his case, he was HVAC, he was a HVAC technician, and living in California and on the West Coast where the weather gets hot, there's always work, there was always work, and he did well for himself doing that. So he was like trying to push me, like find that thing, whatever it is that's going to get you certification, and that certification you can use wherever you go. So I chose teaching because I thought, hey, being as a substitute teach, I can move anywhere in America where there are schools, which is pretty much everywhere, and probably get a job in some capacity and be able to fend for myself. And I just chose the classroom. What little did I know is this program that I used to go into education, which is, for those who are wondering, it's a 2-year commitment. And doing that, so you apply, like any program, you have recommendations and you're applying for high need areas, math, science, special education, English as a second language, or English language learners. All these programs that are just hard to fill. And what happens, through this program, you're partnered with a local university. So it can be anything from any of the city colleges to some of the private universities that are here in New York City. And through those institutions, you get a master's degree at a very, 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 very low discount. I'm talking about like you're paying damn near nothing. And you start off with a 6-week training over the summer that allows you to start teaching the fall. So it's like boot camp. You're going to boot camp for 6 weeks. You're there all day long for 6 weeks, Monday through Friday. Then you do some internship, some intern hours during the summer in summer schools. And you're pretty much like, this is literally the Marine Corps boot camp of education. That's how I put it. And at the end of it, you will have completed your Transition B certification, which is a alternative certification program, and you're literally teaching. So summertime, 6 weeks training, internship during that 6 weeks. Then the fall, you're in the classroom as a full-time, full pay teacher. So unlike the traditional pathway, which you go to a graduate program for 2 years, whatever the case is, and you do your internships, and then after you're done, you get a job. Here, you're doing it at the same time. And the best part about it, you walk away with a master's degree in whatever content area you're teaching. So if you're special education, I have mine in urban education. I was a special education fellow, and that was my entryway. And from there, that's all she wrote. This is very important. Our schools need great teachers, and if you're not doing, I'm going to keep it blunt. If you're not doing anything else with your life, or you're trying to figure out yourself, and try teaching. Our kids definitely need good human beings, and I'm going to say it again. Our kids need good human beings because teaching is not just about the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's about adults with experience who are willing to go into classrooms and really understand that it's not just about teaching. It's about being present. It's about being a model. It's about educating the whole child. Yes, if you're teaching science, you're teaching science. But if you're teaching science in front of high school kids, whether you're a man or woman, you're teaching them also how to be an adult. But they're seeing you and they're learning from you. In 20 years, think about this. The first kids that I taught 20 years ago are now in their 30s. It's incredible. And a lot of them are married, children, professionals, business owners. A lot of them have, when I come across them, tell me, thank you for what you said to me, what you poured into me, what you taught me. And they will tell me quotes, they'll quote me on things that I don't remember saying. But I'm like, that sounds like me, but I don't remember saying it. But the thing is, for them, those words were so powerful, it shifted their trajectory, as teenagers. And for me, I was just loving my work and loving pouring into the next generation of adults. And that's why I say become a teacher. Become a teacher because of the impact that you will have on at least even one person. Become a teacher because of the potential impact that you might have on a generation. This is important work, and it's changed my life. So if you're interested in becoming a New York City Teaching Fellow, and this is not a sponsored video, I'm not doing this because I was asked by New York City Department of Public Schools or the New York City Teaching Fellows or the alternative certification office to make this video. I'm doing this video because of me. This is my story. And not only that, I am looking for teachers. So if this allows me to find phenomenal teachers for next school year, that's wonderful, because I want you to know that this opportunity is here for you. And if you're interested in working for me, and you're a follower, you're a fan, this is a way that you can make your entryway into my school and the network of schools that I am connected to amazing principals that I'm friends with. So, so I just wanted to make this quick video this morning. It's not quick at all, but I just wanted to say, become a teacher, and one last thing, it's a 2-year commitment. At any point in time, you can walk away. You can make a pivot. But this work is not hard. It's not easy by any means, but it is fun. It is fulfilling. Sometimes it feels like more hard days than not. But 20 years, I would not change a damn thing at all. At all. All right. Call to action. In the description, I'm going to put a link to the website for the New York City Teaching Fellows. Check it out. Read it. Comment. And if you were a teaching fellow and you're watching this video, share your experience. When were you a fellow, and where has your career taken you? Share. There's more people need to know about this. And it's not just about New York City, it's about nationwide. We need more teachers. And there are tons of alternative pathways to become teachers that doesn't require you to do the traditional pathway. Look for it in your locale. And again, thank you. Have an amazing day, and be well.